So, what is next then? That was this area here. Like I was saying, this is definitely a no-go at the moment. Even something all the way up here. And do we make a go for that now? It's probably quicker if we were to say just teleport to refugee camp. If there's any travel location nearby, however, there kinda isn't. It's almost like if we continued on this boat along the coastline, ignore this for the time being, go to Condyle here, and then from Condyle teleport to refugees camp. It'd be a bit of a shortcut, but honestly, not even much. And then use that to get closer to this spot. Might be worthwhile. Otherwise, we just go straight there. And by straight there, I mean just boat our way over. And by boat our way over, I mean we should definitely mark this on our mini-map, because we're probably just going to end up boating our way over. So let's do that. Because it is in the opposite direction from what we were pointing ourselves in. Hold on as we just back this thing up a little bit here. 3-point turn, boat style. Okay, now we should be good. And if we slam our foot on the accelerator, because that's totally something that you do with a boat, then we can actually go pretty quickly here. So that shouldn't be too bad for us. What is this island, though? Do we expect anything here? Oh, yes, this is the island that we very much don't want to be going on. And this is actually going to be not open ocean that we are headed toward. So, hold up. Beep, 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 beep. Just give us a second here. Just give us a second here. Okay, if we could, like, again, just throw this thing in reverse and then forget that this ever happened. Yeah. Now we move on. There's actually lots of enemies there. I'm kind of curious as to what kind of enemies those are, because we know there's...
Too far afield, this.
Yeah. Can't go too far in that direction. Just want to get around the edge of that area there. There's monsters in the water. As I've said previously, we have not ever had our boat get attacked by monsters, but I do think that is theoretically possible. But yeah, we know there's a lake hag, and that's the marker that we just went past. I don't know what those other monsters might be. Let's go a little bit further away from land so that we don't beach ourselves unintentionally. Okay. That's just going to be buckthorn in the water. And we are headed straight for... Okay, it's just a drowner. So I don't know if they can actually do any meaningful damage to you, or if it would need to be something much bigger, much nastier than a drowner. Okay, so is this the spot, or is this just like the mainland? This is the mainland. We do need to go further out in this direction, which I think likely means that the game will again tell us, hey, you're going too far. This was a set of loot that we saw previously, but I've already looted. We go past that. Please continue sailing the 7 seas. Pretty much. Geralt's a pro. What can I say? And yes, I think where we are headed is in the general direction where all those shipwrecks are. We might not quite make it all the way there, but you can already see some on the horizon. So, getting closer now, and there are some enemies around this spot. Whatever it is a hidden treasure. As we might have expected, now we do kind of need to stop here, and there are definitely monsters here. Which is a tad unfortunate. Could we say, stop here, get off, go to this little island that may or may not have anything on it, mostly just to give ourselves a place to set foot, and maybe fight those monsters that probably won't want to come over here. Oh, look at this, though. There are broken rakes here. More importantly, there's silver and foglet decoctions, too. This is actually a much bigger landmass than I was expecting.
Turn back or go forth?
But there's definitely stuff. No! But there's loot! What you're saying, there's loot! That's such a tease! Those things have loot in them, and then it's like, no, that's the end of the world, you can't go there. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, I do want to also take a look, I feel like before we forget, let's maybe take a look at all of our alchemy stuff that we've picked up recently, see if there's anything that we can actually make. We got a lot of recipes. We did pick up at least some relatively rare crafting materials too. Moon dust we can now make. This must be something that we didn't have the recipe for before, because it's not like we had any shortage of salt, pepper, or quicksilver solution. Let's make that. And other than that, we got some new decoctions. Can we make any of them? No. Foglet, the one that we just found? Yes, we absolutely can. It increases sign intensity during cloudy weather. Huh. Interesting, so the weather effect does matter, and I suppose that's fitting for foglets. So we'll make that. And that is actually the last thing here on our alchemy list, so good to see. We can at least put that to good use. So let's again do a save, because we did, of course, just travel halfway across the world to get here. And let's ideally try to take some of that, these enemies out before we attempt to loot whatever this thing is over here. It's just a level 4 grounder, and he's standing still. So, like, come on, dude. You gotta make this at least a little bit harder for us. Because that's just no big deal. Okay, so there's definitely a chest over there. Is that it? Also feel like we probably want to come back up for air first. And if he is a drowner heading in our direction, it's probably that guy right there. That was the most delayed crossbow draw and shoot that I've ever seen. I was not pressing the button when it happened. Okay, so here's the other drowner I would like to get rid of. Oh, there you are. I was gonna say, where'd you go? Hey, dude, that was unfortunate. I'm sorry for that one. That one hurt me as much as it hurt you. Okay, so the chest was somewhere over here. Where exactly was the chest? It's easier to see from the other angle. There was definitely a chest here, right? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, hold on. We might need to come up for air first. I think it may only be this one. Compare this to... Well, could we do it? We might be able to do it. Let's go for it. We're gonna make it happen. Compared to the other spots that had a bunch of different things, this is nothing compared to that. Was it honestly just like 2 things of alcoholic beverages and that was it? That was it. That's nothing. Nothing compared to what we saw in the sunken ship. Okay, so we'll head back on the boat. I think we've now done all of these hidden treasures, or spoils of war that are out at sea, at least on this side. We can double check though once we get back to the boat. Okay, so is there anything else along this coastline that we want to pick up? Oh, really? I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're good with all that stuff. We can probably head back now. Place of haunting. What? Oh, use Kira's magic lamp to conjure up a vision tied to this location. Ah, I do remember that, yeah, when we went to the Peller, we saw that there was a graveyard here, but I didn't realize that we could actually speak to the dead there as well, so that might be worth investigating. Let's give that a shot. It does mean that we'll probably want to get on land. go to one of those fast travel locations, which would mean not being out here. Look at that beautiful sunset. Or sunrise? I don't know, man. Does the sun rise or set in the east or west here? I don't know. I don't know. It's also the north, not the west or the east, so, so much for that theory. Okay, so what we want to do is find the nearest fast travel location, and I'm fairly certain there is one not so far. Basically on the edge. This beach area. There'll be a few people over here. And then this will take us where we want to go, except maybe we do want to trade some stuff with you guys first.
What?
This merchant.
Show me what you have in stock.
Do we have anything that we just want to offload? We actually have a lot of spare room right now. We only have 100 out of our 190 weights that we are currently holding. I was assuming that after doing a fair bit of looting there, that we would need to get rid of some stuff. But maybe that's not the case after all. And these Novigrad longswords are basically worth nothing, so we might want to just get rid of them for the sake of getting rid of them, but even that doesn't really matter because it's not urgent right now, so I suppose we can wait for now.
So long.
Okay. So in that case, let's use the fast travel. And with that fast travel, let's head north. What is the closest place to that location? It would be Blackbow. And we'll check out haunted stuff. Brace yourself. Now this would probably be a better place to sell things, because there may actually be a specialist of some variety. One that is a weaponsmith or a blacksmith, and therefore one that would pay a little bit of a premium for those types of items. Okay, so here's the Peller's house. It's just beyond that. Right here. Yeah. Okay. So we need to have this item out here, the magic lamp. Does it tell us where exactly we're supposed to do it? I do remember seeing this. Yeah, there was the sparkly stuff. Okay, so if we do this, I guess we just didn't take note enough to... Oh, hold on. Hold on.
At last,
There it
will
is.
ye forgive me?
Already have.
Okay. Glad to hear it. Cool. I guess we're done there. Anyways, as for what comes next, I think we might want to start to look at things like, what was it? We had some more treasure hunts. We did the one that was level 15 and it was quite short. We have cat school gear. Let's take a look at where that is. Find the diagrams. All the contents. Okay. For a second there, I was going to say it sounded like we were going to need to find the things that were going to tell us where to look. That would have been more of an issue, because, well, then how would we find those things? So that may be far enough north here that it is kind of out of the way. Yeah. Oh, that's just our own indicator there. Yeah, so it's mostly up here. I think it might be time for us to head up north. I think it might be. We've gone a long time here exploring all the stuff in the southern islands, if you want to call them that, in Velen, because this place is just so freaking huge. But, have we finally reached the point now where it seems like we've done what there is to do? We could go back down here in the southern area and check what level these guarded treasures were and see what this question mark is. At some point, we probably will do that. We could also check out, like, this question mark if we were to teleport to this spot. I don't think we've ever been over here. least not this far south in this area here. Furthest south we've been was further east when we were on the edge of the House of Respite. So, yeah, those are the only remaining things there, and I feel like we're at the stage now where there's definitely still things to do, but I think we've done enough that we could potentially just double back and finish those things up when we're looking for things to do in other locations, or when we're done with things in other locations. Like, if we go north, we're going to find that there are a bazillion things for us to do. There's going to be question marks everywhere, new quests, notice boards for towns that we haven't gone to yet, huge towns that we haven't gone to yet. So that, I feel, might be best for us to do at this stage. Other than that, I don't really know what to expect. So, we will need to cross one of the bridges. We do have a border pass, and we've technically gone over this border just enough to get to the border post with a fast travel location there. So that probably means we can beam ourselves up using that. Let's head back to Blackbow. We'll do just that.
Where'd you come from?
Good question. Apparently Rivia.
What do you do? Ask a bear to dance?
So, we do this, and then we head back. I think this was... Oh, wasn't this like a level 16 Lake Hag that we've tried to go back to many times, and we've always said, oh, it's not quite time yet. Maybe we do that now, because we are, what, 14, 15 now? That should be definitely doable at this stage. I think first time we ran into it, it was totally out of the question.
Heard you can get food from the Baron's men.
And then, now we are supposed to go north, aren't we?
How? You know.
Go here?
Just thought I
Let's mark it on the map. Yeah, because first time we saw it, we were in the single digits in terms of level, so it was way too powerful for us. Then afterward, we went back. Oh, hold on. Actually got rid of a marker. We had it marked this entire time. Yeah, then we went back thinking that it was level 14, I think, but it turned out it was slightly higher than that. It was 16, so it was not quite doable. I think that's what ended up happening. But now, even if it is 16, we should be fine. So this might be one of the enemies that we've been waiting the longest to fight. And for that reason, it feels like, why not? Let's make a point of doing it. I'm pretty sure most of the other enemies we're going to see here are going to be low-level drowners and neckers. So it's not super important for us to do that. Not terribly concerned about fighting those guys. They are a dime a dozen. This is the general area we're looking for, though, I think. Yeah. There she is. What level are you? 15. Build Shag, actually. She's slightly different, and that is it. Wow, you actually deal more damage, it seems. That was a bit surprising. I did not expect you to do that much. Now, if you could, like, let us actually hit you, that would be helpful. Yeah, wow. You're no joke. Like, this is, level-wise, still a good fit for us. You're definitely stronger. That's a lot of damage we're taking there. Like, without a Quen on, we would be in trouble. Which is why I'm deliberately not venturing forward right now. Also give us a little bit more time to heal up a bit. Ooh, bad timing. You got me that time. Oh, I had it on Igni, not Quen. However, that dealt a lot of damage. Wow. It might actually be that Igni is technically the thing we're supposed to do, because look at that. That is absolutely shredding her. Yeah. That seemed to really do the trick. We have not fought a build Chag before that. There is a water essence and a water hag mutagen. I'm not sure we had either of those things, and I think we were looking to get those things because they were the last things we needed for one, maybe even two different potions. So that's big. Some very good crafting materials there, and potentially good weapon as well, depends what level that is. And is there anything else in any of these crates, or is it mostly just that big chest? Might have just been the chest. I think so. It is grayed out now. So, let's take a look at that weapon we just picked up. I think it was this. It is worse than what we currently have, but it is worth something. Actually, a fair amount. It's rare enough and it's a high enough level that we could sell that for a bit. And the other thing I was saying was, for alchemy, I think we now should be able to make one, maybe even two new things. So let's see what they are, because I have no recollection as to what they might be. Thought that was going to be the case, though. The Lever's decoction. That sounds maybe a little bit unpleasant. Well, this is actually something that we are able to do because we picked up enough red mutagens, and those have been really hard to come by. Increases damage dealt and decreases damage taken against wraiths specifically. If it wasn't so hard to get red mutagens, then I would say let's go for it. But we need not only red mutagens for these decoctions, we also have not yet upgraded red mutagens from lesser to normal to greater. So we're very short on those. So I am reluctant to use that. This, however, I think is definitely something we want to do. Water Hag Decoction uses that mutagen that we just picked up. Damage dealt is increased when vitality is at its maximum. Huh. So that would seem to encourage a very Quen-heavy playstyle. Always have Quen up. That way you're very rarely actually taking damage. Is there anything else for us here? Enhanced Thunderbolts. We definitely had all the ingredients for this. We must have just picked up the recipe for it recently. Sure. Go for it. Full Moon. Two Dark Essence. I don't remember ever picking those up, but apparently we now can make this. Again, don't remember seeing this previously, but sure. Increases maximum vitality. For at least the 60-second duration. Sounds good. Golden Oriole. I do remember us finding the recipe for this. Yeah, where were these potions earlier? We were checking not long ago for all this stuff, and it wasn't showing up. I don't know. But yeah, I think this was another thing that we got when we were doing our ocean looting. Grants immunity to poisons. Neutralizes the effects of poisons already in the bloodstream. Okay, against poison-heavy enemies. That would be helpful. We can even upgrade it already to an enhanced version. Awesome. Erebor Forest accelerates the generation of adrenaline points. Okay, what is this item? Alguls. Okay. Yeah, sure. We even can do an enhanced version of that too. Okay. Sure. Yeah, look at that. Lots of stuff for us to make in that case. So yeah, this is why I was saying we probably want to hold off on the red mutagens at this point, because between upgrading them like this and then ultimately into greater mutagens and that other recipe that we had below, we are definitely at a shortage of red mutagens. So if we could get more of them, great. Then we could start to use them a little more aggressively. But at this stage, I am reluctant to do so. And you guys were saying it's what, the Necker Warriors that tend to drop them, which we just haven't seen too many of. Surprise, surprise, and that's why we don't have a lot of the red mutagens. So let's head back, though. And it seemed like, rewards-wise, yeah, that was a pretty good fight. I know a lot of those crafting recipes were based on things that we picked up previously. We've definitely been here. Potentially numerous times. So I'm not really going to pay you bandits much attention. I'm sorry. Let's head back to the inn, get to the fast travel location, and then I think from there, we head up north. I think that's what we do. Like I said, I don't really know what to expect up there.
Heard you can get food from the Baron's men.
But okay, here is fast travel spot. And I think we were saying the best way to go up north was probably to go to this border post here, unless we want to check this out, which may or may not be another way across it. Looks like that's just a random island that probably has some monsters on it, rather than an official way to cross over to the other island, like this probably is supposed to be. Didn't sound like a Redanian soldier there. That sounded a lot like some kind of monster. Probably your dogs? Does it sound like? Yeah, okay, it's these guys. I was gonna say, I was pretty concerned for your well-being for a minute there. Okay. But anyways, let's head up north from here. Oh, that's also guard dog. And or speak to some of these guys.
Enjoy living, freak, while you can.
Pleasure to meet you too. And they got quite the outpost over here. Not really sure what you're looking at. That is possibly right where we were before. There are, I believe, some Nilf Guardians there, so I guess, actually, come to think of it, that is pretty fair for you to be looking in that direction then. You guys are actually quite close to one another in that case. And you are mortal enemies, so yeah. Fair enough in that case. And this is different music as well, I think. Okay.
Come through.
Alright, what awaits us here? Don't really know. Actually, one thing I want to check is if we go to our quests, we just have this treasure hunt listed at the moment. I'm not necessarily sure that's what we're going to be prioritizing here because we are going to this entirely different area. Well, mostly different area that we have not yet explored. So there's probably going to be a bunch of stuff that we don't even know exists yet that we're going to run into. But what I want to see is, in terms of main quests, is there anything in this direction? Like, if we go Pirates of Novigrad, is it just in her house? That is... yeah. That's over here. We're headed in that direction. I mean, it'll be a little while, I suppose, until we're actually in the full-blown city. We'll probably do more exploration around this area that's to the south of it, because there's an entire island here. And then we'll probably go into Novigrad, but my guess is we'll find there's so many things here that it might still be a while until we actually make it into the city for that reason. So, let's take our time. Check it out. What else is there in this area we've not yet had the chance to check out? That's just a nice looking plant, but not actually something that we can do. This one, however, is honeysuckle. Why that one's lootable and the others aren't? I don't know. Can you tell me? Those do not look like humans. Those look like necrophages. So I'm pretty sure that means we're going to want to fight these guys here. As for whether they are fightable... okay, monster nest. Yeah, level 6. No problem. No, that's not where we're going to be going. Do not attack in that direction when they are going to go blue. 180 enough? I doubt it. 2 ignies. Is that enough? It might be. Because they don't actually need to drop to 0 HP. They just need to get fairly low, and then, yeah, they start to do their whole implodey thing. Okay. I really like the music in this spot. Okay, sure, runestones.
Rot fiend nest.
Oh yeah,
Needs to be destroyed.
the nest itself. We should probably take care of that. Where is the actual source though? over... What's this? Okay. Don't mind us as we just drop that in there and maybe take a few steps back. Watch it come boom. And then they magically come back out, because that seems to always do what they do. This one's actually technically Devour, though. And I actually did want to Igni it, not Quen it. Who's this guy? We got him, right? He doesn't stand a chance. Okay, admittedly, I was toying with him there, trying to just dodge out of the way. He's level 5, whereas the other guys were level 6. But there's no way. There's no way this guy can get us, right? Surely not. 2 Ignis and he is toast. In more ways than one. Okay. And that should be the end of that monster nest. Let's make sure we loot it. You don't need that stuff. Yeah, not the best one we've seen in terms of its returns. Types of loot it gives us, but we'll take it. For a second I thought the edge of the house was another monster there. On the minimap. Like it was a little bit red. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No worries.
Looks like rain.
Yeah, so I'm mostly just going to hug the coast here. Go across the perimeter. And then once we've done that, we can look a little more on the interior. That sounds like some kind of flying creature. Usually those guys are high level, but not all the time. Yeah, that would be that guy right there, for sure. Let's save. Especially since we're on the other side now. He is a guarded treasure. Suppose we probably could have guessed as much. What level are you, though? 18? It's close. It might be possible, but it would be tough. Let's see if we can pull it off. We are supposed to use our that excuse me, that dealt 0 damage to you. It didn't even hit. It's not that it dealt 0 damage, it didn't register the hits for some reason. But like that. That's not registered. Not sure why. You can't hit it in the head. But it rams us with its horns. I did not realize that was a thing. We should probably throw on a Quen once we can. And then switch back over to Ard. I also tried to dash out of the way, but was not able to. You don't really have a tail, which is kind of weird. You know what? I think you kind of need to get that checked out, dude. You are, you know, kind of annoying with this whole I can't deal damage to you when I swing my sword at your head thing. It kind of runs counter to every single assumption that I would have about this fight. You want art for the offensive stuff. Theoretically, we want to wait for you to fly and then knock you down with Ard, and then do something like not quite this. Oh, that did hurt. It actually didn't deal too much damage to us. Ard definitely in the air now, so this would be the time. Get you with Ard. Reach her from there, I doubt it. Now we just used our stamina, so we now need you to be patient with us as we get it back, please. No! Alright, let's make sure... Ooh. What was that? Ideally that we have Quen on, but we don't. At least not yet. Hey, friend. Yeah, we definitely just went straight after you, and then we didn't have Quen, which is probably not a good idea. Back to Ard. So we're ready, even when you do something like that. Although we can have the stamina for it, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the damage that this guy is dealing is actually quite small, so I feel like we can be a little more aggressive with our attacks, and this is seemingly paying off here. And we just occasionally hope for the critical hits to land, and this guy apparently just can't take it. There you go. Wyvern down. Dragon scales, wyvern hide, wyvern eggs. All I think pretty rare stuff in terms of crafting ingredients. Now, I did lose track a little bit of where we ended up going during that fight. I think this is the guarded treasure here. With oil, steel plates, new sword, which could potentially be a nice level. Potentially good boots as well, because this guy was technically a higher level monster than we are currently. So that might be a good indication. For now, that we already had. That we did too. I think it was this, and it is definitely not a damage upgrade for us. This is the new pair of boots. One more armor. A little bit more resistances, but it is a heavy armor compared to our current medium armor boots. So it's a level 11 item compared to level 10 that we have right now. It is also lower on durability, so if we repaired them, then maybe it would be truly an upgrade, but it's close. I think it's mostly a matter of preference. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to crash them here. But I'm not necessarily sure we're going to want to switch to them either. It would end up being something that we end up selling, hopefully for a decent amount. Okay, so we've checked out this spot here. There's actually a trader who's apparently right behind us. So, do we want to continue going along the southern coast here? Go all the way to the edge? Or do we start heading a little bit further north and checking out some of these other areas? Like, there's a bunch of question marks here we did not end up checking out because we took a right as soon as we made it over to this spot here. So, I mean, it's hard to say because everywhere we go is going to have new stuff, right? That's what happens when you're in a new area, and after being in Southern Velen for so long, that's kind of new. Or at least hasn't been that way for a while now. So, I suppose let's keep going in this direction. Go along the southern border. That way, we are pretty confident that we're being thorough with this area. I think that is the island where we saw, what, some harpies, and then Witcher George was over there. And by was, I mean, he's no more. Is there something over here? Say, climb that, and I feel like we weren't actually supposed to be able to climb that and get some loot up top. I don't think there's anything over there, but yeah, so let's thoroughly explore the bottom part here. That, I think, will make it a little bit easier for us to keep track of where we have and have not gone. Because especially, again, when we're in a new area like this, it's useful to know where we ought to go next to find new things. Right now, it's everywhere. But eventually, that answer may change. Also, don't know if we're going to start seeing any types of herbs that we have not seen much of. Probably makes sense to make a point of targeting those as well. Not so much the case right now, but possible. People, I didn't think we were that close to, well, I suppose we're kind of close to a town. That looks like one right there. So maybe we check that out in just a minute. But it's not along the southern border. We can't do it. Not yet. Not just yet.